Hi, my dear students. I am Venkateshwarlu, PGT Physics, the Nandal Public School. Now I will discussing about electrostatic potential and capacitance part 2. So coming to behavior of conductors in the electrostatic field. First one, net electric field intensity in the interior of a conductor is zero. When a conductor is placed an electrostatic field, the charges drift towards the positive plate, leaving the positive core behind at an equilibrium. The electric field due to the polarization becomes equal to the applied field. So, the net electrostatic field inside the conductor is zero. Dear students, see the first diagram. We have two plates, positive and negative plates. Electric field external, we can denote it E bar naught, which is always passing from positive to negative. So, in the presence of electric field, we can consider one something material conductor. Okay, due to electric field, uh, attraction of two charges means positive and negative, repulsion of two equal and opposite nature. See here this example which gives the information, all negative charges are drifted towards positive, like all positive charges drifted towards negative plates. So, due to external electric field and electric field due to polarization, both are equal, we can get net electric field intensity inside the conductor is zero. Coming to second one, electric field just outside the charged conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. Suppose the electric field is acting at an angle other than 90 degrees. Then there will be a component E cos theta acting along the tangent at that point to the surface, which will tends to accelerate the charge on the surface, leading to the surface current. But there is no surface current in electrostatics. So theta is equal to 90 degrees and cos 90 is equal to 1. So we can take the component from the diagram, which is not possible. Third one, net charge in the interior of a conductor is zero. The charges are temporarily separated. The total charge of the system is zero according to Gauss theorem. Electric flux, which is equal to surface integral E bar dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. Okay, so we know that in neutral body positive and negative charges are equal. So we can get by adding additive property we can get 0. The net charge is 0. So if charge is 0, electric flux also 0 according to Gauss theorem. Fourth one, charge always reside on the surface of a conductor. We know that this we can take from the properties of charges. Charge is always reside the surfaces. Suppose a conductor is given some excess charge Q construct a Gaussian surface just inside the conductor. Since E is equal to 0 in the interior of the conductor, therefore Q is equal to 0 inside the conductor. Fifth one, electric potential is constant for the entire conductor. dV is equal to minus E bar dot dr bar, which is very important one. Since E is equal to 0 in the interior of the conductor, therefore dV is equal to 0. That is V is equal to constant. Potential is constant. Sixth one, surface charge distribution may be different at different points. Surface charge density means charge per unit surface area. If surface area decreases, we can get surface charge density increases. From the formula sigma is equal to Q by S, which is depending upon S. Coming to the diagram where sigma is max, sigma is minimum means if surface area is less, sigma value is maximum. Coming to electrical capacitance, the measure of the ability of a conductor to store the charges is known as capacitance or capacity. Q is proportional to V, means the store charge which is proportional to potential difference. See here, proportionality is there. We can remove that proportionality. We can use C. We can insert C. Q is equal to CV, or C is equal to Q by V. Suppose we can take some values. If V is equal to 1 volt, then C is equal to Q. If the potential difference between two plates is 1 volt, then capacitance is equal to charge. Capacitance of a conductor is defined as the charge required to rise its potential through 1 unit. SI unit of capacitance is farad. Symbol we see here, two parallel lines. Capacitance is said to be 1 farad when 1 coulomb of charge rises the potential of a conductor by 1 volt. Since 1 coulomb is the big amount of charge, the capacitance will be usually in the range of millifarad, microfarad, nanofarad or picofarad. We know that milli means 10 power minus 3, micro means 10 power minus 6, nano means 10 power minus 9, pico means 10 power minus 12. Capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. Here, let a charge Q be given to the sphere which is assumed to be concentrated at the center. So consider the diagram. So inside plus Q is charge is there. The radius of the sphere is denoted R. Potential at any point on the surface is, so we know that is formula V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Coming to the capacity formula, C is equal to Q by V. From both equations, we can get C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. Here some points. First point, the capacitance of a spherical conductor is directly proportional to its radius. See from the above equation, C is proportional to R. If radius increases, the capacitance also increases. Second one, the above equation is true for conducting sphere, hollow or solid. whatever may be hollow or solid, the above equation is true. If the sphere is in a medium, C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r into r. Here epsilon naught means permittivity of free space. Epsilon r means relative permittivity of the medium. Fourth one, capacitance of the earth is 711 microfarad. 711 microfarad. Coming to principle of capacitance, see two diagrams. Coming to step 1, plate A is positively charged and B is neutral. Here there is no connection from A to B. Step 2, when a neutral plate B is brought to near A, charges are induced on B such that the sides near A is negative and the other side is positive. So due to the properties of charge here, if we can consider A is positive charge means, so other side B is neutral body. Okay, so to B maintains leftward is negative and rightward is positive. The potential of the system of A and B in step 1 and step 2 remains the same because the potential due to positive and negative charge on B cancel out. Step 3, when the farther side of B is earthed, the positive charges on B get neutralized and B is left only with a negative charge. Okay, so if we can give earthing from positive, positive charges are passing from B to earth. To increase the potential to the same value as was in step 2, an additional amount of charge can be given to plate A. This means the capacity of storing charges on A increases. The system so formed is called a capacitor. Capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, very important one. See here, consider two plates A, both A. Here we consider one side is positive, another side is negative. We know that electric field intensity, which is always passing from positive to negative. Sigma indicates surface charge density for both plates same. D is the distance between two plates. Parallel plate capacitor is an arrangement of two parallel conducting plates of equal area separated by air medium or any other insulating medium such as paper, mica, glass, wood, ceramic, etc. V is equal to ED. V is equal to ED. So we know that electric field intensity of plate sigma by epsilon naught from the Gauss law into already D is there. V is equal to Q D divided by A into epsilon naught. So sigma is equal to Q by A. Surface charge density means charge per unit area. A is the area. But C is equal to Q by V. We know that from capacitance formula. So from both equations we can get C is equal to A epsilon naught divided by D. If the space between the plates is filled with dielectric medium of relative permittivity epsilon r, then C is equal to A into epsilon naught into epsilon r divided by D. Capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor is first one directly proportional to the area of the plates and inversely proportional to the distance of separation between them. If D increases, C decreases. Distance between them increases, the capacitance decreases from that formula. Coming to here, we can discuss it about capacitor. So these capacitors are arranging one to another parallel or series. Let us discuss series combination of a capacitors. In series combination, charge is same in each capacitor. Throughout the circuit, the charge is same. Potential is distributed in inverse proportional to each into capacitance. Potential difference is different from each capacitance. That is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So from the capacitance formula, V is equal to Q by C. At capacity 1, V1 is equal to Q by C1. At capacitance C2, V2 is equal to Q by C2. And at capacitance C3, V3 is equal to Q by C3. So this equations we can substitute in first equation. We can get Q by C is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. Throughout the circuit, Q charge is same. So then Q cancel, we can get 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So we can take number of capacitors, we can get 1 by C is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to N 1 divided by Ci. The reciprocal of the effective capacitance is the sum of the reciprocals of the individual capacitance. The effective capacitance in series combination is less than the least of all the individual capacitance. Parallel combination of capacitors. Okay, see here parallel combination means all positive plates connected with one end, all negative other end. This type of connection we can say parallel combination. In parallel combination, potential is same across each capacitor. Charge is distributed in direct proportional to the capacitance. So from that Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. But according to capacitance 1, capacitance 2, capacitance 3, Q1 is equal to C1V, Q2 is equal to C2V, Q3 is equal to C3V and Q is equal to CV. Here V is constant. CV is equal to C1V plus C2V plus C3V. So V cancel. We can get finally C is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. If we can take n number of capacitors which are arranging in parallel, C is equal to summation of I is equal to 1 to N Ci. The effective capacitance is the sum of the individual capacitance. The effective capacitance in parallel combination is larger than the largest of all the individual capacitances. And coming to last one in the capacitance, energy stored in a capacitor. The process of charging a capacitor is equivalent to transferring charges from one plate to the other of the capacitor. The amount of charging starts, there is a proportional difference between the plates. Therefore, to transfer charges against proportional difference, potential difference, some work is to be done. This work is stored as electrostatic potential energy in the capacitor. If dq be the charge transferred against potential difference V, then work done is du is equal to dw is equal to V into dq. From the formula potential work done by charge, we know that V is equal to q by c into dq. The total work done to transfer charge q is u. After integration, we can get u is equal to integration of charge 0 to q by c dq. Okay, we know that integration of x is equal to x square by 2, like that. Here integration of q square by 2, u is equal to 1 by 2 q square by c. So we can change that equation, 1 by 2 cv square, q is equal to cv. Or we can change u is equal to 1 by 2 qv. Okay students, the session is completed.